This disingenuous, self-centered and carefree Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley seems to believe that she's somehow a celebrity, all at the expense of the Barbadian people, going halfway around the world on her exotic and exuberant pleasure trips, while neglecting her duties at home as Prime Minister, as she embraces the high life, and all the glitz and glamour that comes with it, only for the poor Barbadian taxpayers to foot this enormous bill at the end of her baseless shenanigans. She doesn't seem to realize that she's the leader of this poor and dispirited country, one that's suffering immensely for sound leadership and assistance out of this political rut and hellhole her administration has plunged us way deeper into. It seems like the power of being elected to office 6 years ago seems to have messed with her head in a great way. But this invariably is what naturally happens when you elect a big bully and a wannabe dictator to the office of Prime Minister, or any form of leadership on the whole. So, she's been capitalizing on the opportunity to throw around her political weight and power as Prime Minister, while displaying her bullying and arrogant demeanor for the past 6 years now. So much so, that she has now lost her way, and doesn't care a hell about the Barbadian people in the least, but only her personal political and financial interest. This despotic and corrupt Prime Minister seems to believe she's now way above the Barbadian people, so much so that she doesn't have to answer to anyone. In all her arrogance, self-centeredness, and tyrannical nature, the Mottley administration has even turned its back on the youth of the country appreciably, those who are in dire need of employment opportunities. I have met with several young people who say they're interested in pursuing a skills training program, so they can hone their skills as they aspire to make something of themselves while aiming for a life of betterment. And I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But there's no help from a government that also got the full support of these very said young people at the polls 6 years ago when this administration first came to office. There don't seem to be any skills training programs in Barbados to assist these young people so they can make a difference in life. The future success and prosperity of any country is its young people, so it would make good sense from a moral, caring, and administrative viewpoint to take very good care of them, while equipping them with a sound education and skill sets. It somehow seems that the only thing the Mia Mottley regime is interested in when it comes to the young people of Barbados is to confuse them with this gender identity crap, as well as every form of corruption and immorality that they are subtly pushing in our schools today, simply to confuse, debase, and groom our vulnerable young people, which I think is very wrong on every level. However, I believe this Prime Minister needs a serious reality check of the highest order. She also needs to stay at home and deal with the affairs of the country because, for the most part, she's never at home, and as a result, the country languishes for leadership and good sound spiritual and moral direction. This Prime Minister seems to be beholden solely to her globalist masters and puppeteers, those who don't have the interest of the Barbadian people at heart in the least, because they're using this moronic Prime Minister to destroy the Barbadian people. But sadly most Barbadians are still asleep to this reality, and to all of her yard fowls and political people, who I'm sure will come on here in her defense, I say to you, just wake up and get a life. It's the future of Barbados that's at stake here. We're fighting for our family and generations yet unborn, to protect them from the evil of this egregious and diabolical Prime Minister, a reality we all should be worried about, and not partisan politics.